Good afternoon. It's Heather Doyle Fraser, and I'm here today to do our afternoon pick me up. And like the past few days, I'm going to start with a little reading from my book, 40 Weeks, A Daily Journey of Inspiration and Abundance. I opened this book up randomly as I have been doing, and today we are at week 12, day 2, and that is in a time of allowing. So my book is separated into 10 weeks. A time of opening is the first 10 weeks. A time of allowing is the second 10 weeks. A time of releasing is the third 10 weeks. And a time of embracing is the fourth 10 weeks. So we are at week 12, day 2, a time of allowing. There is so much in this life that we feel we need to control. Yep. It brings us a sense of calm. Control feels safe and known. This is why we grasp at control of others, of situations, of the future. And for the most part, control is an illusion. We can only control our choices, our actions, our behaviors, and our responses. Time spent trying to control more is futile. It leads not to safety and certainty, but to tightness and constriction. What would your day look like if you made a commitment to release your control of others and the situations in which you find yourself? What if your focus shifted inwards towards your responses and your reactions? I like that one for today because I think that in this time, we do feel like things are out of control, and they are to some extent, to a large extent, but it doesn't mean that they weren't in our control before. I think that there is an illusion of control that we have, and there are some things that we can control, but there's a lot that we can't. And that leads me back to those daily quarantine questions that we talked about the other day, letting go of some of the expectations of normal. And so I think that fits with that really well. And so looking at your day and what you can control and what feels good to control, that is a way to feel a little bit better also. Because we can't control everything for sure. But I can control, when I go out to take my dog for a walk, and I can, do things like that. Definitely I can make a choice like right this second that I'm making to do these videos and to do what I can to reach and connect with people and help people where I can from a distance. And so those are just some of the things like that. One of the things today I'm wearing this necklace, as you can see. This was my Grandma Doyle's necklace. It's a little just costume jewelry. I don't think she wore it very much. I didn't see her wearing it all that often. And I spent a lot of time with her. Hi, Kendra. How are you? My sister and I would spend a lot of weekend nights with my grandparents, with my dad's parents, because my mom has always been a performer, musician, singer, and so she sang 4 nights a week. And on the weekends, my dad would go hear her too. And oh, thanks, Kendra. That's so sweet. It looks a little scarlet and gray, but it's more like it's a little pink and purple. But if it looks scarlet and gray, let's go for it. But anyway, my dad would want to go hear her sing, and so my grandparents would keep my sister and I overnight. We'd spend the night many weekends with them, and I just always felt so comforted, loved. She was just, and my grandfather too, just amazing, kind, generous, thoughtful, compassionate people. And today, when I was getting dressed, it was so sunny out. I was so grateful to see the sun again. I'm here in Ohio, and we had a beautiful, and it's still really warm out. It's like 65 degrees, but the sun was super shiny, made me feel really uplifted. And so when I just thought, you know what, I'm going to wear this necklace because it reminds me of my grandma and it makes me feel good and it's something that I can control. And it's so comforting to me. Like I said, I don't think she wore it very often, but it makes me feel good to know that she did wear it and then I'm wearing it today. And I think that, when I was down, like on that road, down that path of my grandparents and thinking about her, I was thinking, wow, she would have just really risen to the challenge of this. She had, you know, lots of canned goods all the time. Like anytime she had canned goods, she did a lot of canning. She made her own jam and jelly, apple butter. So she always had an abundance of that in the cabinet. She had all the rubber bands you could possibly need or want. Also bread bags, lots of bread bags. When my sister and I were little, if it was raining, she would have us put bread bags over top of our boots to make sure the boots didn't get muddy, when we were playing outside in the wet, sort of muddy stuff. But she had so much of that because she saved things, and she really, I think, as during the Depression, she really was cognizant and then just carried that with her. So I was just kind of channeling her a little bit and feeling her presence, and that's why I wore this necklace. But I was also thinking that she was a really wise woman, and I mean, she had 7 kids. She saw a lot happen. And I think I was looking through our book Freedom too, since I've been reading from that as well. And this passage stuck out to me. And I think that my Grandma Doyle would definitely have been in alignment with this piece. And this section is in chapter 6, which is, I don't remember what chapter 6 is called. Oh, this is so great. I forgot what chapter 6 was. Help is on the way. Isn't that awesome? So this chapter is Help is on the way, and one of the sections is called Impermanence. This too shall pass. I need to get better at that. So I'm just going to read you this little section because when I read it today, I was like, oh, that feels good. So I hope this picks you up a little bit too. Impermanence, this too shall pass. Everything in life is constantly changing. When we are heading towards our dreams and values, it is helpful to remember this. If we just think about the weather for a moment or look at pictures of ourselves from the past, we can actually see that everything is constantly changing. The challenging moments, emotions, and thoughts all will pass as you move compassionately in your valued life direction. Just having this knowledge and giving ourselves this gentle reminder on our path of life can be so helpful. There is a very famous and ancient story about this truth. According to this story, there once lived a powerful king. The king was continuously torn between happiness and depression. The smallest things could make him really upset or give him an intense emotional reaction, so his happiness easily turned into disappointment and despair. One day, the king became tired of himself and started seeking a way out. He sent for a woman known for being one of the wisest people in the kingdom. When she arrived, the king said to her, "I want to be like you. Can you bring me something that gives me balance, peace, and serenity in my life? I will pay whatever price you like." The wise woman replied, "I may be able to help you, but the price is so great that not even your kingdom would be enough to payment for it. Therefore, I will give it to you as a gift if you will honor it." The king gave his promise, and the wise woman left. A few weeks later, she returned and handed the king an ornate box carved in jade. The king opened the box and found a simple gold ring inside. The inscription on the ring read, "This too shall pass." "What is the meaning of this?" asked the king. The wise woman replied, Wear this ring always, whatever happens. Before you call it good or bad, touch the ring and read the inscription. That way you will always be at peace. If we practice slowing down and using our soothing rhythm breathing, we are better able to access the wisdom of this ancient story. This story helps us to remember that all things, including difficult emotions, thoughts, and circumstances, will pass. If we look a little deeper at the fact that everything is impermanent, we can start to see the importance and goodness of it. Impermanence makes it possible for pain to pass, for beauty of the changing seasons, for sickness to be cured, for the acorn to grow into the oak tree, and for the child to grow up. We can train ourselves to remember impermanence to help us live our values deeply each day, and also to help us cope with painful experiences. So, like I said, I think that she would be on board with that. And when I read that, I thought, I need that today. And I hope that that gave all of you just a little pick-me-up. And I will see you again tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.